Welcome to the Bowling Promotion Cup 2010. Something new from the 10-pin bowling world for you on Eurosport this evening. And it's all the brainchild of the man that we're just about to see bowling. Bruno Bidone leaves a ringing 10 to start things off. The man from Monaco, who came up with this concept of inviting players from development nations, as well as stars from the likes of the PBA and other areas of European bowling, to gather together here at the Chateaubriant Bowling Centre, just outside of Paris. And the idea behind this promotional cup is exactly that, to promote the sport, but unfortunately an open frame at the start of these set ladder finals for Bruno. We've got Bruno Bidone versus Victor Krasavkin of Russia to get things underway. Then the winner of this one will go on to meet Phil Hulst of the Netherlands, and whoever wins that one will go on to meet Sergei Andreev, and everybody heading towards the PBA player Michael Haugen Jr. in the championship match. So we'll see who makes it as this program develops.
And I see the concept of Bruno Bidone here, man from Monaco.
Started with an open, did Bruno, so really does need to respond here to that double that Victor threw first up. Stylish bowler is the man from France, but at the moment not finding his target. But in defence of the bowlers, and I think it's very important to say this early on, Cass, we've got a really tough flat oil pattern, so let's not be too optimistic with the scores.
Simon, yeah, I was just going to go there. This is what they call a flat oil pattern. Now, that means that the oil that's on the lane, the conditioner, is equal in the middle and the outside. That's left and right. Gutter to gutter is identical. So there's no high points in the middle of the lane. And the situation is that you have to play very precise and accurate shots, make variable movements when the lane starts to break down. And that's the only way you're going to overcome this condition. Pretty tough as it goes. And unfortunately, Bruno started off with a couple of open frames, while Victor, the man from Tula in Russia, has started off with a double. And that doesn't help Bruno very much, I'm afraid. Little smile on his face. This could be the third open frame in a row. And you saw the ball hurry on. It skidded past almost the head pin. So we're going to get the impression, we are getting the impression that there is quite a bit of oil on the lane. As I say, it's equal gutter to gutter. It's just a matter of how thick that oil is and how deep it is. And it would appear from his first couple of shots that it's quite heavy oil. So we're going to get lots of aquaplaning for the first 40 feet. And then hope we can get some hook in the back end and pick up spares like that.
Victor then working a double, taking it slightly wider to the gutter this time, and that one cut back on him ferociously.
Well, it certainly had a lot of rotation on the ball, and as you said, it went out to the gutter and then really hooked up, overreacted in the back end, left the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, which is quite a big split, but it is makeable, and that was a reasonable shot, but unfortunately just couldn't make it. So his first open frame in frame number 3.
Did represent Russia in the 40th AMF World Cup. And he was the man that really was responsible for setting up the structure of the Russian Bowling Federation. So you can see already the way this story is developing in terms of this promotional cup. This is featuring guys that have been very influential in developing the sport across Europe. And for emerging nations like Russia, it's fantastic to see these guys competing on an international stage.
Yeah, you're quite right, Simon, and you could tell by the style of Victor that he's been bowling for a good few years. And it's good to see him out getting some international competition. And let's hope that some of the other Team Russia players can get around Europe, get some real tough opposition from the top players, and so consequently develop their own game at home.
And in terms of the crowd behind this lane, that's the way the 10-pin bowlers like to do it. I sometimes feel, Cass, you could put the most beautiful grandstand at the back of a lane, but your 10-pin bowlers would still stand, wouldn't they? They'd want to watch from the side.
They actually want to watch from behind, as these ones are, because what they like to do is they like to stand behind the bowler and see the line that the ball is taking once it's off the bowler's hand. See if it's going to hook up right into the pocket or whether it's going to go long and miss out. I like to follow the track of the ball.
Now Bruno needs to get himself together here, still looking for a strike. Well, finally gets a pocket hit and finally gets some reward. Just wonder if nerves were playing their part. Although, having said that, he has bowled at quite a decent level against the likes of Chris Barnes in exhibition tournaments before. Yeah,
he's certainly played one or two events around the world. And as you say, he's played up exhibition matches with Chris Barnes on TV. And he's certainly got the high backswing and the smooth style. It just took him a little while to get used to this lane condition. Unfortunately, had a couple of open frames to start with. Making the pocket and just leaving single pins at this particular time. Hoping to make the spare. And she does. He takes his spare ball out and straightens the shot out for those corner pins.
So I always feel for guys like Victor. They've worked so hard to establish the sport in their country. They've been instrumental in setting up the federation. That takes a number of years to do that. And then by the time the spoils start to appear, i.e. the big tournaments and the big players start to visit your country, sometimes you just coming towards the end of your career, you're starting to lose the form, and you just have to take some joy in the fact that you're the person that created it.
Simon, I couldn't express that better myself. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you do a lot of hard work for years and years. You get to the autumn of your career, and then an 18-year-old comes along and shoots a couple of 300 games against you, and you think, what's gone on? Well, the game's changed.
Sounds like a touch to nerve there, Cass.
No, I've done my bit. I've got my World Championship medal, so I'm quite happy with my CV. Thanks very much.
Thoroughly deserved as well. Well done to Victor. So just feeling the pressure a bit under the TV lights here, dabbing some sweat away from his brow. Bruno, though, got to keep this run going.
Well, yes, he has, because he's pins down. Best part of 20 pins adrift at the moment, and Victor's working on a double. Good-looking shot from Bruno in frame number 8.
Well, he's straightened it right up, hasn't he? And he's getting it into the pocket now.
They have to watch this lane condition. As I say, it's a flat condition right across side to side. But both players being right-handed, they're playing in their own sort of track area, and that will cause a transition of the oil, and it will change. And that was a change there, wasn't it? The ball just held. This is likely to be an open frame for the Russian. Gave it a try, but didn't quite make it. Open frame in frame number 9. Going to do some work in the last couple of frames to take this first match.
Straight through the head pin, and Victor at the moment spraying it about all over the place. Can't find a line that really suits him, and I think with the way both of these men bowl, they're not able to muscle their way through the lane condition.
Well, Victor's got 4 strikes, 2 doubles. And he's just spared out there, so he'll have 1 extra ball in the 10th frame, and he's going to be over 180. Not the greatest score, but hey, this is tough lane conditions.
No opens for Victor?
Yeah, 1 open in the 3rd frame.
That's right.
And 1 in the 9th. So he's had the 2 opens, but he's had the 2 doubles. So he's struck out, and he's got 185. And well, just that ringing 10 in the corner for Bruno. The game is Victor's. Victor's the victor, so to speak. Yeah, I'm afraid Bruno's showed us how not to spare and not to strike at the same time, unfortunately. Well, he's a better bowler than that, Bruno Bidone, and he'll be a little frustrated. He's going to have to watch the rest of his tournament from behind with the rest of the bowlers, but he can watch and enjoy what he's created here. So Bruno Bidone goes out of this stepladder final. Victor Krasavkin goes through, and he will meet Phil Hulst of the Netherlands in match number 2 of this stepladder final.